Hello guys, welcome in. Today we're going to be doing a cast from the Aureil Stormgate circuit. This is the 9th week. We have 10 weeks total, so only one more week ahead of us. It's going to be a game from the semifinals. It's going to be msrm versus Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Blue Infernal msrm. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, as the Red Vanguard, we have Mixu. And we're playing on what seems to be one of the community favorite maps. It's Magma Chamber. It's made by Matterino. Seems like this map gets chosen quite a bit. Probably one of the most picked maps. It came out a couple weeks ago, and ever since then it has been chosen quite a bit in all the tournaments. Alright, both players expanding first. And this map only has two storm gates. So you have the one here, you have the one here. So it kind of hits on either side of where some of the players either third or fourth could be, because usually you take either your third or fourth here. I see a lot of Vanguard players opt to choose this one and kind of fortify the entire area just so they could stop any attacks from multiple angles coming. Some players I see take this one over here. It's a little bit, I mean, you can kind of, take this whole top area or vice versa down here, but it seems like this one is the more favorite choice to be chosen for the third. As you see msrm going to get it, these rocks are destructible, so you can, kind of control that entire area here with your natural and your third. Right, we have a first Lancer in production. Quite a couple guys on gas. Third looks like it's going out to be taken from Mixu, and he's choosing to take this third over here. Like I said, players do it differently. He is placing it pretty close, so he's going to be able to get a lot of Therium from that base. Maybe that's the choice, because you can kind of angle it that way and get a quicker Therium drop-off that way. That could be one of the reasonings behind it. It's a little harder to do that on this map because the Therium and the Illuminite are a little bit further apart, so you kind of have to centerize your shrine there. Breaking the rocks down. Let's see, we have the Ritual Chamber going down. Going to be upgrading probably the Gaunts first. Probably getting it there just in case we need miasma, or the necrotic hex fields as they are called now. But we don't know as msrm if our opponent is going bio or mech. But as we see here, there are two mech base down, and we have a hedgehog in production. So we're going to be seeing a bit of a Lancer hog opening from Mixu. Playing a bit of a mech style. I don't think msrm ran in and scouted with much. He saved his brutes to use them to destroy the rocks and just to stay at home in case the Lancers come. Because sometimes, if you only have a couple units, you run out this way to go scout. But then you realize, hey, my opponent went this way and now we went opposite ways. Just because of the way this map is set up. We had the Imp coming out to put the Tribute Pyre down. msrm likes to do this because you're going to be able to get more Shroud that way. You can spawn effigies that are now permanent rather than ones that will die shortly after. We'll probably see a effigy placed down over here so you can get further Shroud coverage and it won't disappear when the effigy goes down. Now we have Mixu coming in to try to contest the Stormgate, but it was way too late. By the time he got there, it looks like his units were kind of over here. I think he was contemplating going in for an attack, but maybe decided that he was going to go get the Stormgate instead. But I think he had to destroy these rocks in order to get there, it looks like. So I think that was one of the things that held him off. He didn't want to go around and go the long way, so he had to destroy the rocks to get there. But in turn, he was just really late getting there. Creeping Horror has been chosen from msrm. And right now we just have lots of hogs in production. We have Biokinetic Slap going down too. And just lots and lots of hogs. Probably going to see some Vulcans in the near future. We don't have a fourth base taken yet from Mixu, but we do have a fourth that just got taken from msrm. It looks like these hogs were coming in trying to see if they could do a little damage. But this area was already fortified and the units were there from MSRM, and he also has the slow guy, the creeping horror. So hogs are kind of really good because they have mobility, they're really fast, and you can use that to kind of cut your opponent around and try to do a lot of damage. But when you have that creeping horror, it makes it really hard to be able to do that. So the creeping horror is really, really good in this scenario for dealing with hedgehogs. The gaunts are here, and they do already have the both upgrades to Reaper Rush. So that is also another counter that you can go for to deal with hogs as an Inferno player, because you're also denying the mobility of them because they are very fast. But if your gaunts are upgraded and fast as well, then you will be able to not be kited by them. This push looked like it was going really well, but we do have some boys in the mix, some overcharged servos, which they're one of the best units in the game, we all joke around about. We do have another Hellborn here, or a first Hellborn here. Hellborns are going to do a lot of damage and be able to take out like these repair-o-matics here. This is the 4th base from Mixu. He's trying to hold this down, but he's actually taking damage to both the 4th and the 3rd simultaneously. And with these Hellborns in the backlines, it's going to be able to take out this location quite easily. Meanwhile, at the 3rd, we have these gaunts that are just doing a bunch of damage and taking out tons of servos. And the XDD is called, otherwise known as a Mixu GG. And just kidding, it's the first time he's done that. But the first game goes to MSRM. Alright, game number 2. It's going to be on a new map, Lunar Base Gamma. It's going to be best out of 5. MSRM is up a game. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner we have is the Blue Inferno. We have MSRM. And in the upper, also left-hand corner, we have is the red Vanguard player. We have Mixu. Now, this map is different. We haven't seen it before. This is probably the first tournament that we've seen it in. I believe Aureil made this map. Now, it's kind of a spacey map, it looks like. It's a Vanguard map. Kind of similar vibe to, like, Short Circuit, but it looks like it's like kind of like a Vanguard mining base of some sort. But the layout is the interesting part. Okay, now, both players are doing very similar openings, so we're not really worrying about it for just a second, because I want to point out, so they both expanded first, everything like last game. So the thing is, though, there's only Therium if you expand towards your opponent, or if you take these outside bases. So this is kind of a crazy map, because if you can expand this way, sure, but you only have Luminite this way. If you want the Therium, you're going to have to expand towards each other, or go take this base that's going to be out in the open and vulnerable, because you haven't, unless, you know, it's a late game situation where you've already expanded out that way. And then you also have a very interesting Stormgate layout. We have one here, one up here, one down here, one over here in the center, and then one further one out this way. And then there's also 3 well springs on this map. Now, I do want to point out that you could probably, you know, be up here on this high ground and threatening some of these 3rd bases, like either or, and you have a wellspring to kind of go back up to and heal, and say, what if the Stormgate was here? Or what if the Stormgate was here? Like, or here. Like, it's going to be so easy for it to snowball because it's so close. Like, look how, this is probably one of the closest Stormgates to a 3rd base that I've ever seen. I mean, that is literally one box away. Like, one, you could just box the area that how close it is. MSRM has taken his 3rd base here. He wants to get probably as much Therium as he possibly can before anything sketchy happens. We have the similar opening with the Hogs and the Lancers that we saw last time from Mixu. Now, I just want to see how this is going to play out on this map. I've never seen a game on this map yet. I'm really curious. So we already have the 3rd base getting threatened. Mixu's coming in with 1 Lancer and a Hog. Nice save with the Tribute Pyre from MSRM. That Imp had like less than 10 health, and he saved it at the last minute. No 3rd base from Mixu. I think he realizes that this is a scary base. He doesn't want to get it just yet.
Rift detected. A Stormgate's
going off, but it's actually over here. MSRM could easily be able to get that. He's already pulling an Imp to go get a Tribute Pyre down. We have Mixu, though, threatening the third base rather than getting the Stormgate. He knows that it's a little bit too far out, and taking out this third base is going to be super, super important.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Now, msrm can't really go get the Stormgate right now because he has to deal with all this pressure that is coming towards him. At least he's able to take this high ground Wellspring area for the time being. We have quite a bit of hogs, and we have some servos coming. I think he's going to be trying to place down, a sentry post. So it looks like Mixu's trying to fortify this high ground here and try to claim this area with the Wellspring, which is going to be really, really hard to deal with. msrm is trying to get this Stormgate. He almost had it, I think, but he's coming back and he has to defend this third. This is very important to hold this third down right now because, like I said before, this Therium, we need this Therium as either or player. Both players are going to need to take that base at some point or another. This Fiend could be attacking, and I think msrm wanted it to be, but it just, for some reason, didn't. Now it is. Okay. I don't know why, because usually when they're in the vicinity of something, they would attack it, and it naturally should have attacked it, so I think it might have just, like, glitched out or something, because it definitely should have been attacking just because it was standing there, unless it was accidentally put on hold position. But, yeah, we have two repair-o-matics and a sentry post going down. Now, this Hellborn is super important to the equation. It just popped and died because it popped at a very, very bad location where there is a lot of hogs already in the vicinity. Yeah, these hogs are just able to go back, repair, and they can also use the Wellspring. So this is just an absolute perfect position for Mixu. This Stormgate is just gonna go down. That Fiend did not take it out. It looks like msrm took a third base at a different location, but again, that third base doesn't have Therium. He's gonna have to expand out that way if he wants to get any Therium. We don't have a third. Okay, yes, we do. I was going to say, this is time to probably take a third if you are Mixu, and it looks like Mixu is gearing up to take a third. msrm is trying to deal with this as much as he can, but it is just really, really hard to push into. It's not only, it's up a ramp, there's repair-o-matics, there's a Wellspring, there's multiple repair-o-matics, and we're going to have another one over here. It's just really, really hard. I feel like maybe we need a couple more Hellborns. But we're going for the Weavers, so I think he's just going to try to grab these hogs and maybe specifically grab the ones that have the veterancy so that he can get rid of those from the equation before they continue to get more veterancy later on in the game, because they will become a further threat as time progresses. Yeah, msrm is just kind of just locking down that spot, trying to not push into it because he knows he can't really take it completely down, but he doesn't want Mixu to push forward anymore. We're probably going to be seeing some Vulcans added soon because now we're going to be having the Therium as Mixu because he is taking the third base over here. So I guess Mixu's plan here was lock down this area, take out the third base on this map, and then take the third base of his own. I think that was pretty smart thinking. We do have that Vulcan that I was talking about already in the mix, the second Vulcan. Now these Vulcans are getting grabbed really quickly, really good targeting from msrm, but that second Weaver was taken out in the process, and he needed that to really get that second Vulcan. Now, it looks like Mixu's trying to push in, or at least trying to push in far enough that he pushes msrm back so that he can go over here and take this Stormgate. And msrm is going to come in, and he's going to try to stop him as best that he can. He might be able to steal that Vulcan. He did kill the Vulcan. He is grabbing the Medtechs, actually. Okay, so he's choosing to grab the Medtechs, which is a good idea, too, so they can repair more than they already are with these repair-o-matics. But he's actually going to be able to take out this repair-o-matic here and kind of denying the idea that Mixu was having from grabbing that Stormgate. We have a couple Hellborns out. These Hellborns are going to have to probably deal with the Vulcan and choose to either deal with the Vulcan and or the repair-o-matics. Again, just really good micro from both players. They're not overcommitting. Mixu knows if he goes in too far, he's going to lose that Vulcan because it's going to get grabbed. Every time that Mixu goes forward to try to take this Stormgate, though, msrm comes in and denies him the ability to do it because he's going to have to come over here and deal with the pressure that msrm is putting in. But he really wants to get this Stormgate. This is a tier 2 Stormgate, and this could have, you know, he could maybe get multiple Vulcans from this. Let's see what he gets out of it. He was able to get it, I believe so. This timer is not going to run out. It was a close one, though. It was a really good play from msrm to try to deny it, but in the end, this position here is just so heavily fortified. Okay, so Mixu actually went for Sky Hunters. Now, we don't have air yet, but I think Mixu just kind of knows his opponent's playstyle, and he knows that, you know, what is msrm's favorite unit? It's probably the dragon. So we don't have the dragon yet. We have just a greater shrine. We don't have the tier 3 shrine yet, but it's probably because we're struggling to be able to get the Therium. We've been forced into making as many Hellborns and Weavers that we can as msrm, so this dragon is just significantly later than probably msrm would want it to be. We know he's able to usually get a dragon out pretty quickly, but this is really crazy pressure that Mixu is putting here, and he is still continuously trying to build and fortify this area. He is now taking a 4th base, and it's going to be this base, because why not? He's got this whole area all to himself, and he's just going to be slowly trying to inch his way over. But these Sky Hunters, are they going to be able to take down this drop? That was really, really close, but msrm noticed and pulled it back at the very last second. Now he's going to try to come in, but I don't think with this many Vulcans that you can really contest this, and maybe you can grab quite a few of them and take them out if you can get the perfect, like, opportunity to try to just grab them and not take too much damage of your own.
Dimensional rift detected.
But it is a lot of
Stormgate will
Vulcans.
activate
Now this
soon.
Stormgate is going off, and yeah, that's a really far away Stormgate. Now let's see, we do have, oh, okay, so he's actually taking out, okay, so we definitely a dragon is coming, dragon and or Spriggans, because we are choosing to target the Sky Hunters. Now, Mixu probably noticed that too, so he probably knows that one of those two things is about to happen. We have a couple more Vulcans being grabbed, really good pulls, but a lot of Vulcans are still remaining. We have a couple Hornets out. Also, I think he preemptively knows that the dragon's going to be coming soon, so he wants to get as much anti-air as possible. Really good target firing from msrm. He took out so many Vulcans there. There's literally only 2 remaining. And I don't think Mixu can really push too much further in from this area. There's just way too many Hellborns. Now we have some Atlases, though. These Atlases are going to be making things really difficult for msrm to push anymore, because he's going to have to grab them. He's going to have to make some more Weavers, probably, to grab them, or he's just going to get that dragon out. Let's see. No dragon in production. We have a blood tree, so we're going to be getting some Spriggans. But as this whole thing was taking place, all this battle, as you saw, we did see him take a base over here, but we also had msrm take a base all the way out here. So he's just branching out from the south side of the map, and he's growing now. Okay, guys, he is growing. This wasn't the way that I expected the map to be taken. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but really interesting base placements from both people. Alright, so we do have the Weavers. These Weavers are going to have to really try to grab these Atlases, because these Atlases are so strong. And we have our first Hurricane in the mix. These Hurricanes are so hard to take down, too. Okay, first Atlas was pulled. We have one more Atlas, and it was pulled, too, so we have no more... Okay, only one Atlas. 2 Atlases remain. Yeah, I don't know who came out on top of that fight. Both players lost so much, and Mixu is able to push forward because there's not a lot of anti-air here, and he's going to be able to do a bombing run soon. Okay, here comes the anti-air. We do have some Spriggans now. This is a long game already, guys. We're almost at 13 minutes. This is a banger of a game. I didn't know what I was in for when I started this one. Should have gotten some more water. Alright, now we have multiple bases mined out too. So the main base is mined out from Mixu. MSRM is taking this base over here. So MSRM kind of has the entire south side in like a C shape, and there's no more bases for Mixu to really get. He's taking so much Therium, though, because there is double Therium geysers over here that Mixu's taking. So he's going to be able to get a lot of heavy units out. And he's pushing towards MSRM's main and his natural over here. And that might be take out lots of production.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Right. Yep, Mixu's just inching his way in. Okay, couple more Twilight Spires going down, so we're going to see lots more Spriggans probably or Shadow Flyers, because there's a lot of air out here. We also have the Hornets, the Hurricane, and this Hurricane is really hard to take down. So this is like literally the hardest unit composition that you can have, I believe, as a Vanguard player. This is really strong. It's really hard to break into this, especially with all these repair-o-matics, and just playing this style is just such... It's a very tedious, slow pushing style, but it's so strong if you have the patience to be able to do it. And you also have to have the patience as the opponent to be able to deal with this. As you see, a whole bunch of sentry posts going down over here, because this is the only place that Mixu can even expand to at this point, because all the other bases are taken on the map. MSRM did bring in a bunch of brutes, and he is able to take down all the sentry posts here, but is that going to be worth it is the question, because at the natural, we have lots of units going down. We don't have too much of anything to be able to deal with this right now. Lots and lots of Spriggans are pumping out, and do we have an answer to lots and lots of Spriggans? There's a couple Hornets, and we have the Dragon. This is going to be... Okay, this is really nice for MSRM. He's got so much anti-air, and the Dragon, he's grabbing the Atlases, taking them out. Will this be enough, though? Now we have the Hurricane. And it is just, it's got the shield bubble on it, and it's just basically invincible. It looks like the freaking repair-o-matic is healing it too, and it's not losing like anything. Okay, now it's starting to go down. A bombing run went out. I'm not sure how much it was able to take out. We only have one Hellborn down here. Lots and lots of Fiends and Phantoms doing a lot of damage on the low ground, but this Hurricane will not die. It just will not die, and this Dragon is slowly getting lower and lower health, but it's doing everything that it can. This is pretty much final fight, I believe. It's gonna go one or two ways for one of the players here, but if this Dragon goes down, I don't think it's gonna go in MSRM's favor. I think this Hurricane here is just the MVP player. This invulnerable, immortal Hurricane. Dragon had to back up. He doesn't want to lose the Dragon. Alright, he's still fighting for this base. Mixu is still fighting for this base. He wants to take it. He's just going to come in and start attacking it with servos. But, oh my god, we had some flame imps. Didn't even see that get researched. But that was able to take out a whole bunch of servos of their own. But the Hornets came in and were able to finish off the base. And now Mixu is going to be able to take this base and claim it as his own, and he's also going to come in and try to take out the other bases, and MSRM's going to have to take care of this, because if he doesn't, he's not going to have any bases left that are worth mining. We're getting low on the amount of resources that are left on this map, and now Mixu's coming in, it looks like, with all that he has to try to take out any bases left. The Stormgate's going off now. Maybe
a Stormgate has
if MSRM takes the Stormgate, gets like maybe a deep one out, maybe this could change. But if he leaves for too long, this base is going to go out. So the choice has to be made to save this base or get the Stormgate. He has a couple units, but it's just the tribute higher units, and they're not going to be able to take it out on its own. Really nice Flame Imp explosions. Took out a ton of hedgehogs, but this air army is still remaining, and Yeah, there's just not much to deal with it. These gaunts are coming out, but gaunts are not going to be that great to deal with it because of these atlases that are just raining down their fire on the gaunts. And the gaunts are so squishy, they just die so quickly. We still have the bases up. MSRM, with his version of his GG, where is his late game? MSRM is usually very strong in the late game, but this was just an anti-infernal late game composition from Mixu, and Mixu takes game number 2. Game number 3, we have a tie right now in the series. It is a best out of 5. In the semifinals, spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have as the blue Inferno player, we have msrm. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Vanguard, we have Mixu. Alright, this game is going to be on Black Spire Station. This is Aureil's map. This is one of the first maps that Aureil made. Super cool center over here. We have lots of infernally coolness happening. Definitely a very fun map. Lots to it. We have 4 Stormgates on this map. We have 2 kind of over on this area and 2 over on this side. Looks like MSRM opening with Shrine first and Mixu with the command post first. Now we've seen a lot of mech play from Mixu. I don't think this map is going to be as easy to fortify, areas like we saw in that last game. This map is a little bit more larger, further spawning points, and easier bases to take. We have a Therium at multiple bases, but we don't have any at this third here. So a lot of players probably, actually it looks like both thirds don't have too much Therium. So you kind of get more Therium when you branch out to get a 4th. Oh, no, this one actually does. So probably have players choosing this base, I would think, as their 3rd base on this map. Nope. We have this base getting chosen from an MSRM. Probably doesn't need it just yet. It's okay with 2. Let's see. Alright, first Lancers in production. We have a lot of guys on gas. We have a lot of guys on gas, guys. We have 4 and 4. And we also have the mech bay going down. So I think we're going to be seeing mech play again from Mixu. Double conclave, so I think in the quick ritual chamber too. So I think MSRM is trying to get more ready for the quick hedgehogs. Try to get the upgrades for the Reaper's Rush a little faster, maybe. All right, first Lancer coming in, trying to scout, do a little pressure. Might be able to take out that effigy, but doesn't want to commit. It wouldn't have mattered anyways because the 3rd is finished anyways. First Hog is also coming out. Alright, we have the first upgrade from MSRM, the Soulburn Chakrams. It's going to allow things to get infested and cursed, and then we are going to have fiends or phantoms spawn out because of it. You need that upgrade in order to get to the next upgrade to increase the gaunt speed, though, so I think that's the end game, so we're probably going to see we already have the Greater Shrine, so we're going to be able to start researching that next. No 3rd base from Mixu yet, but he is coming out with servos, probably trying to fortify another place again. It looks like he's still going to try to do that, fortify the 3rd base area again. A lot of players are doing this, a lot of Vanguard players, because the game can really snowball Infernal if they get the first Stormgate. I think it's kind of funny to see the Tribute Pyre and the multiple Sentry Posts getting built all at the same time around each other. But MSRM was able to push. I actually thought he was going to build those Sentry Posts at the 3rd, but instead he actually is going to do it at the Stormgate. This Tribute Pyre is going to go out, so that's going to stop MSRM from being able to make that permanent shroud there. And I think MSRM just said, you know what, you can have that one. You can just have that Stormgate. I don't need it. And instead, he's going to take a 4th base and try to just stay in this for the long run. I don't know if he knows. I mean, you could probably tell by the amount of hedgehogs and lancers that your opponent's probably only on 2 bases. This does look like it's going to be a 2-base all-in play, unless he's taking a 3rd now. I think it's just more of a delayed 3rd. Like, it seems like this is kind of what Mixu did the last couple games, too. Just kind of try to fortify on 2 base, do as much damage as you can, take the first Stormgate if possible, and then take your 3rd behind it. But I don't know if this is the greatest idea, because at this point, MSRM's already taking a 4th base, and you're only taking your 3rd now, and did you do enough damage to really make this worth it, is the question. And I don't think you did, and I think he's realizing that too, so he is trying to push here as hard as he can to try to do as much damage as possible. He's pushing in quite far, but is he overextending? Did he lose too many hogs in this? I think he might have, because, I mean, we only are down... Oh, actually, look at that. You can repair from the other side of the trees. That's pretty cool. That's why they were placed in that specific area. Alright, these hogs, they're targeting the weavers. He wants to get rid of the weavers. He doesn't want them to grab any of his, like, med techs or any of his... he doesn't have any med techs, but he might, because he did the other games. He doesn't want them to grab any of the hogs or anything. It looks like he's just going full on hogs. I don't think he has any upgrades for them just yet. Lots and lots of mech base, so he's going to be committing really, really, really hard to these hogs. They have a lot of mobility, but right here they're kind of fighting in the wellspring, so they kind of could actually heal up quite possibly, but this is just so much from MSRM. I don't think that he can push into this, especially with all these wards in the backlines too. He wants to get back to these repair aromatics, but the shape and layout of this map is making it really hard for him to contest it. Maybe he was hoping that MSRM would have taken this 3rd base, and in theory that would have actually been really good for it, Mixu. So maybe that's what he thought, that for going out this way and taking this as a 3rd because it had the Therium. Maybe that's what he was thinking MSRM was going to do, but instead MSRM expanded to the upper right-hand corner, which kind of is leaving Mixu with these repair aromatics a little farther off, and he's not able to get back to them as he wants to. And now, like I was saying, there's just so many more units now, because he just has such an economic lead, I feel like, from MSRM. He's going to take out this area and then try to take out the Stormgate afterwards. And now we have no more repair aromatic turrets, so there's no repair for these hedgehogs to go back to. And I think he's going to have to sacrifice the Stormgate as Mixu. It looks like he's going to go around and either take a... Okay, he's taking a 4th base, and I think he's trying to either cut off reinforcements or try to do some damage of his own. Was able to pick off the Hellborn, so that was really expensive and really good. Using the mobility of the hedgehogs to try to come in and do as much damage, but there's so many tribute pyres. It's a sim city of tribute pyres. Is he even supply blocking him? Not really, because he has more. He has so many tribute pyres. These hogs are just such low health, and they're just slowly whittling away. These Vulcans, though, now these Vulcans, they might be able to do a lot of damage, but we do already have an anti-Vulcan army that's pretty big. We have the Weavers grabbing the Vulcans, and we also have the Vile Lurker in the backlines doing some siege damage. It was picked off, though, but there's just so many Hellborns. I don't think that Mixu can contest this Hellborns with just one Vulcan and a bunch of low health hogs. Now more reinforcements are coming in from MSRM, and they are pushing these hogs back further and further. The 4th base has now been taken off. These hogs are caught off in just a bad situation, getting completely surrounded. These Weavers are going to be able to grab that last Vulcan, and there's just nothing left here for Mixu. I think we will be seeing the GG soon, any moment now. It looks like he's going to have to pull the servos. And the GG is called, and MSRM takes game number 3. Alright, game number 4 in this best out of 5. We have MSRM up 2 games, Mixu with 1, and spawning in the top left corner, it's the Blue Infernal. We have MSRM. In the bottom right-hand corner, the red Vanguard, we have Mixu. Alright, now we're playing on Short Circuit. Short Circuit, one of my favorite maps. Alright, we have the expand first from both players. So our overcharge going off so these guys can build it quite faster than normal. Iron Vault going down. I kind of like his placement, placing it over here so that there will be some additional shout coverage for the third to be taken. Now, we've seen from all the games in the past from these two players that it seems like Mixu really likes to go a mech style of play. We've seen really quick hedgehogs into Vulcans. We already have guys going on gas. I don't know if he's going to be doing anything different this game. It did work out very well for him in game 2. We had a really long, crazy game 2. Lots of guys going on gas. So I'm saying I'm gonna take my chances and say that this is gonna be a more mech play for Mixu, just based on how many guys are on Therium. Because if you're going bio, I don't really think you need this many guys already this early on the Therium. Third base taken super quickly from msrm. This is a great map to be able to take a third base really comfortably. And you also just have really nice ability to look at that. He made all this shroud off of just one single effigy because he put that iron vault in that location, like I said. So he was able to save a lot of his energy to be able to maybe be used on more effigies and or health spawn resurgences later. So really cool placement, I'd say. We have the quick ritual chamber. All right, and we have the double mech base again. And we actually have a dog. We saw a lancer the last game, so that's like the only differentiating factor that I've seen this game is now he went for a dog rather than a lancer. Maybe he wants to scout a little faster, or just be able to try to have a little bit more map awareness. Because the dog is quite more faster than like the Lancer. The Lancer moves really slow. You can try to get vision a little faster with the dog. You won't have like the meat shield in the front lines that the Lancer kind of gives you to be able to kind of deal with maybe the brutes, but you can kite the brutes around anyways with the hog. All right, so. This hog's gonna come in and see if it can do a little pokey. It's not much pokey it can really do. Stormgate's going off. It's gonna be the center Stormgate, so we're gonna actually have reinforcements coming in from Mixu that might be able to grab it along the way. And do we have the tribute? Where's msrm's forward tribute pyre? Maybe he is just not taking it. I think msrm is sacrificing this from the get-go. That's what it looks like to me. He's just going to be in this for the longer run. He's actually using the Health Spawn Resurgence energy that he had from not overproducing effigies to actually use it to spawn more imps faster. So now he has almost a fully saturated third base, while Mixu is only on his 2 bases still. Mixu didn't waste any money on these repairomatics yet. He hasn't found the location that he's going to be going with. Now, he got the Soul Forge, and he Soul Forged a couple more hogs. Now, he's going to be trying to fortify this area, it looks like, to try to put pressure on the 3rd and 4th. So, very same play that we saw the last games. Now, we're just going to have to see if msrm can defend this. If these hogs are going to be able to do enough damage to make this 2-base play worth it or not. But I think that msrm already reacted very well. He's going to have to lose this 4th base, though. But he's actually going to be able to kind of stop these units from getting back to the repair-o-matic, possibly. I don't know if that was canceled. I want to say that it was, because I don't see why it wouldn't have been. Alright, now these hogs want to get back to the repair-o-matics. They ran by as quickly as they could. Now let's see if these Hellborns will be able to take out the repair-o-matics before enough damage is done. A lot of damage actually being done. I don't think the Hellborns are even targeting the repair-o-matics. They're actually targeting the hogs. And they're doing like more damage than they probably would have. The repair can't repair fast enough that the hogs are just going down. Okay, one of the repairs down. We still have 1 in the back lines remaining. 3 Hellborns now coming out, and units coming around in a conclave that are probably going to be able to surround pretty good. More Shroud is being pushed out, and these hogs are not going to be able to get back to their repair turrets. He's just going to be pushed back now, and only a small army of hogs is remaining, and Mixu is on 2 bases still. Meanwhile, msrm did take the fort, so he was able to fortify this fort, and I do like the way that he played this, msrm. I think that he really gathered a lot of intel from these past games to know the style that Mixu was going for, and I feel like he just kind of hard countered it this game, like, really, really well. Mixu did take the 3rd base, and he does have it pretty saturated pretty well. So it's not over. This game is not over, but that whole plan that he had was just completely shut down by msrm. Really good playing from him. It looks like Mixu wants to come around from a different angle and see if he can pick off what he can with the speed of the hogs. And I think msrm's just kind of waiting for that to happen, because that's kind of what the hogs do. So you just kind of have to be ready for him to come and pop in and out like that. Was able to pick off 1 hog, which is great. Will he be able to get a second one? Nope, doesn't want to overextend either. And Mixu is just macroing up, trying to saturate his bases, get some more production out. He's just going hog or die trying, like we saw last game. Middle Stormgate is going off, but Mixu wants to do damage rather than take the Stormgate, and he was very close to getting sandwiched there, and he still actually is. msrm is going for the surround. The speed of the hogs was able to get him out of that negative situation that he was in, but it looks like msrm is still trying to come in for a surround, and just using the way the map layout is to break up his army and go from 2 different directions. These hogs are forced to have to try to run, and they're pushed off very far off now. A couple units were able to try to take the Stormgate, sneakily as they were, while we were dealing with all those hogs on the right-hand side, but yeah, Mixu coming in trying to do his own little surround, but there's just a lot of units here taking the Stormgate, and he did not want to push into that. That was very, very risky if he did. We have a drop now. We have a drop coming in. Well, where will it land? We do have an army from Mixu already ready and prepared. I don't know if he saw the drop or if he's just ready for some pressure. This drop is going to get denied very, very quickly. msrm is going to come in and try to go from another angle, but meanwhile, while he let the army get pushed off like that, he is coming in with the main army into the front lines. Also has the Vile Lurker, which the Vile Lurker is going to do a lot of siege damage, on top of already having all these Hellborns doing as much siege damage as they are. We have the first Vulcan coming out. He does have the shield on him, so he's not going to die so quickly, but there's just a lot. The boys are getting full. We're going to have the servo overcharge going off, trying to fight. Doesn't look like msrm wants to overextend. It's really, really hard to really push into a Vanguard player. They're just able to use the servos to defend. They can use their turrets and repairs, and you could lose like your entire army trying to push in too far. So it's very smart of msrm to back off. Grabbing that Vulcan. We have 1 Vulcan that remains, but we are going to lose this Weaver here. I don't think there's anything that Mixu can do here, and the GG is called, and msrm takes the series and will be making his way to the finals.